Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we want to talk about the percentage sign. Now, what you're looking at when you look at the percentage sign, right? Now, it's always on 5, the number 5 on your computer pad or whatever like that, and things of that nature. And a lot of people would say it represents the number 8. You see what I'm saying? But it's truly, those are filters. You see what I'm saying? Those are truly filters, and things of that nature. Because 8 correlates to infinity, right? But there's something above infinity that you need to understand, and we're gonna get into that. Also, when we talk about the percentage sign, it's truly not even 8. And if you really want to know what 8 is 6 and 9 together, and those cut in a proportion of its own is the number 3. See, numbers are very deeper than what you think they are. So 6 and 9 merged together is really 8. You see what I'm saying? But it goes deeper than that. When you make a percentage sign, you're actually making a 69 sign, a 6-9. So, you know, the spirit of the rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's vibrating on a certain frequency that's very high, that he may not even be aware of. But just by him calling himself that name, I guarantee in one way, shape, and form, that name is going to take over to the totality of him. He's gonna eventually stop using Tekashi and just keep using 6ix9ine. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how powerful that energy is. He got it tattooed all over him and shit like that. Y'all might think it's negative, but he receiving forces from some real shit. Now, if he is a spiritually inclined person, and if he watch Archangel Uriel, you know what I'm saying, then he gonna be able to balance this energy and not get overwhelmed by it when he start experiencing all the frequency vibrations that 6ix9ine energy carries. But let's break it down. The percentage sign itself is the 6-9. Now, what is the 6-9? Now, people need to understand, like I explained on my videos, how everything is frequency, vibration, energy. This correlates to unconscious, subconscious, and what you're consciously aware of. So this is where you get a lot of sayings that come from 6 is scared of 7 because 7, 8, 9. You know what I'm saying? Now, this correlates to a lot of things. Now, when we go to dimensional vessels, we have to go to the first dimension. That's a sperm cell. Second dimension, an egg cell. Third dimension, a human cell, or a third dimensional cell, whether it's an animal, bug, or whatever like that, because you could have been that same kind of version when you was a sperm, or when you. So these all correlate to the same thing. So whatever you physically see now, this is the third dimension. Oversoul, fourth dimension. Planet, fifth dimension. 6 is the sun, that's a star, that's the 6th dimension. The 7th dimension, solar system. 8th dimension is a galaxy. 9th dimension is a universe. Now, here's why this correlates with 6 is scared of 7, because 7, 8, 9. Now, 6 is a star. When a star realizes itself and realizes its full potential, it start to take the embodiment of the whole rotation. Boom, a person wake up as a solar system. Right? But the totality of not just realizing it, becoming a solar system, right? Then the solar system right now have to evolve and become and absorb and do that same type of thing till it can become a grand mass, so it can become just a big ass sun, to the point that it can become a black hole and then become an 8th dimensional being. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it has to do. It has to eat in order to get there, because that's what 8th dimensional beings do. Eat. You know what I'm saying? Galaxies. Galaxies eat other galaxies, and they're on a quest to become the whole verse. You see what I'm saying? So the solar system is on. You are a mini solar system. So look at it like this. You got 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension. So you got 3 bodies now. So you are consciously aware of it from a small scale, but on the totality of things, you only realize the energy body. You see what I'm saying? And you only can perceive your soul and your spirit body. Boom. Then you go through another process, right? The 4th, 5th, then the 6th dimension. Now, the 4th is equivalent to the 1st dimension, this with like zeros added to it, more of it. You're consciously aware that you're doing 1st dimensional shit, right? So that's like an oversoul being. That's 4th dimension. Then you got Then you got the fifth dimension. That's correlated to like the second dimension, right? Going into a world from being an oversoul, aka oversoul getting information from a planet, a world, or organ, or something like that, a womb, a woman's womb, a Earth-like planet. See what I'm saying? Then boom, bow. Then you grow up and become a sun. You get birthed as a planet, then you grow up and become a sun. You see what I'm saying? In that life. So that's a 6. So now you got a higher version of a 3 embodiment of a body. But look, from a sun point of view, a sun has 2 bodies now. Because look, to make 6, it takes 2 3s. Don't look at 3 as 1, 2, 3. That's breaking it down. Look at 3 as 1. So now 6 is 2 version 3. So it's 2 bodies now. So now a sun in a sun perception, it could proceed. It have control. It have full control and full embodiment over the physical and the subconscious, the conscious and the subconscious, the vibration realm and the physical realm. You see what I'm saying? This is why it got the color to it and things of that nature, and the elements it's made out of, helium and hydrogen and whatever y'all want to call them and things of that nature. So it's the full embodiment of 2. So while you just the full embodiment of 1, you can slightly perceive the subconscious. Then it's hard for you to even connect to the unconscious. You can't connect to that at all. The only way you can connect to that is your thoughts and ideas and things of that nature. Then that get cut off to a certain degree. You see what I'm saying? Now as a 6th dimensional being a star go through the same phase again. The 7th dimension is correlated to the 1st and the 4th dimension. You see what I'm saying? This is how the Bible was trying to explain it. The 8th dimension is correlated to the 2nd and the 5th dimension, going into the womb, another black hole, a galaxy. You see what I'm saying? That's the 8th dimension. Then the 9th dimension is the 3rd body. So now if you a 9th dimensional being, you have understanding of embodying 3 bodies, embodying the energy, the vibration, and the frequency. You see what I'm saying? The unconscious, subconscious, and the conscious. You see what I'm saying? This the 3 bodies. So you have full control over these 3 bodies. Then you will be able to live amongst that realm of reality. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't stop with the verses. This and this realm of reality, it does. But see, you have 3 full body forms. So the same way you can't remember the 1st and the 2nd dimension, you can. You can remember being a sperm cell and then a 2nd dimension being when those 2 things come together to an egg cell and those join in to create a body. You can remember those 2, right? To the best way of your ability in the 3rd dimension. Here's the 3rd dimension right now in this vessel. You see what I'm saying? Now, it's just to a small degree though, because that life, your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas is small and it's trying to travel through vessels to get bigger. You see what I'm saying? So as now you in the 3rd dimension, you're getting prepared to get to the 4th dimension. You see what I'm saying? Now the 4th dimension is oversoul. And then you get to embody one of these. Now these is like concepts, ideas, and things of that nature. The whole simple fact that you are how you tell time, how you correlate and construct ideas in your mind, how you you know what I'm saying, the stuff you believe in and things of that nature, how you look at rotation and what's relative to you and things of that. All this is controlled by oversoul. This is what you're getting ready to become. This is why you're down here learning about the planets and learning about time and learning about situations and circumstances. Because when you become an oversoul, you start to control circumstances and situations for a larger amount of people and not just yourself. Same way you're doing down here. You're not doing it just for yourself, but it's just on a smaller degree. You're doing everything on a smaller degree. You see what I'm saying? So as an oversoul, you doing what you was doing as a sperm cell. It's just more experience. That's an actual life now. More of it. More. So the 4th dimension life is greater than the 3rd dimension life. But the 4th dimension life is truly nothing but a replica and more zeros added to the 1st dimension life. You see what I'm saying? So you truly not going to become an embodiment in that world until you become to that 4th dimension, that oversoul, go into a womb, aka resonate with a planet based upon its vibration. You go into another female, another woman, then you get born out of that out of that world. You see what I'm saying? Which is that world you will be able to see it out of, and you will be a solar system in that world. You see what I'm saying? Now you embody the form of it. You're not just a spirit flying around, or you're not just something flying around. You experience in that world you created physically now. You see what I'm saying? Then you go through that process again. But the higher you go, the more that each one is like a life of its own, but it's truly just a replica. Like, for example, 7th dimension, a solar system, is nothing but a more visualization and perception of what you was doing when you was in the 1 dimension and when you was in the 4th dimension. Same way, the 2nd, 5th, and the 8th dimension. You see what I'm saying? So this is how you correlate. Now, to step into these vessels, now I've been through all of these vessels, all of these experiences, and all my names I ever created and came up with, they all come to 9. It's crazy. But look, listen, check this out. Now, when you thinking about each vessel, you can realize how they see things with their brain in this body. And all you have to do is know about dimensions, know about the 9 dimensions, the dimension shapes and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? Because look, all right, let's start. The 1st dimension, it creates a line. So everything that creates a line, all the frequencies that come out of that is selfishness, only thinking about self, single-mindedness, direct-mindedness, being directed towards one goal. You know what I'm saying? Thinking very selfishly, self-thinking, self-analyzing. That's one-dimensional. You see what I'm saying? 2nd dimension, it draws a line to another, right? So 2nd dimension, and mathematically it's a line and it's perception duality, but it plays out in your life as, and if you a 2nd dimensional if you a 2 numerology person, then you deal with relativeness, relationships, how to relate, how to compromise, how to oppose, how to bring together, how to cause friction. You do all that. So that's duality, right? Then we get into, now that's how you seen things when you went into the womb. So you start to feel vibrations and emotions and feelings. You develop that in your mother. Thoughts and ideas and frequencies and sense of direction, you develop that in your father. Now, how to move in that direction, you develop that when you went into your mother, right? Now you went to the 3rd dimension. You experiencing the world and an embodiment of that, and be able to see that world through the world you was just inside. You're able to see that world through them now. You're able to see the world face to face that you was just in. And now you're in a higher world, a bigger world, a more expansive world. 3rd dimension now. Now the 3rd dimension is the same thing. It's 3D. You're in a surroundings. You realize you're in a body. You realize you have a 360. You realize you're in a surrounding. So all 3-dimensional beings share the same type of concept, the same type of perception. So the things that's in the higher dimensions, you can only perceive them from your dimensional perception. So they may share a lot of elements and attributes that kind of resonate with your position, with your dimension, but that is truly not all the way in your dimension. This is why you don't truly fully understand it. But I'm giving y'all portions how to understand it. Now, everything trained the lower life form so it can rise. So right now we're getting trained by the higher life form, which is the 4th dimension, the spirits and the consciousness and things of that nature. These things, you see what I'm saying? The 4th dimension. But in their physical death portion, it will be perceived as like space gas and things of that nature, and aka a sperm cell in that realm and things of that nature. So in so many ways and shapes and forms, the 4th dimension right now, you're learning to be one of them. And how you know that is because you're learning about time. You're learning how to conduct your situations and circumstances, right? And then through those filters, you get to learn about the planets. But that's the next level. That's what they up under. That's the law and government they up under. So that's the 4th dimension. So if you want to know how a 4th dimensional being look, right? They act, they oversouls. They act as people like Jesus, or people like, you know what I'm saying? People who didn't been here, like Tupac. Tupac is an oversoul. You know what I'm saying? People who have died, or people who have been here, or people who have pushed out certain theology, certain outlooks that's still a concept to this day that people still cling on to. You know what I'm saying? So you will be able to live effectively. The greater source, the more people you have giving you power and source, the faster you could become and reach the egg cell, which reach a world, a planet in that realm. You see what I'm saying? And then once you go into that realm, you go into a world, whatever planet, organ, or whatever, that's another woman's womb. So you start to get ready to get prepared to become out into that world as a shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas. But be able to take a brain and see the world face to face. So the 5th dimensional being is a planet. So how you know how the planets think about things and how they rotate, The fourth dimension is learning about your surroundings, learning everything about the 3D dimension. So if everything in your surroundings, planets, stars, time, people, places, circumstances, situations, boom, you're learning about the fourth dimension. Now, to step into a fourth dimensional brain, now to step into a fifth dimensional brain, they learn from the sun. And they get, you know what I'm saying? So how to know how a planet think, right? You utilize your authority within that surroundings, right? So a planet have already learned how to, they already got wombs, they already got the egg, they already learned about the surroundings. Now they're utilizing their authority in the surroundings. How you do that is, once you learn about every person, place, or thing in your surroundings, now you start to smell your, like how your parents would say, you start to smell your own piss, or smell your own shit, smell your own ass. You know what I'm saying? You now utilizing your authority or what you have accumulated or learned from the people, places, and things around you. That's a planet. That's what a planet does. A planet is rotating. A planet is utilizing its authority, its influence, its illusion in order to dictate the rotation for the oversouls, for they can take this information and dictate the rotation of the third dimensional beings, and then you take this information and you're able to dictate your innerverse, which is your soul, your vibration, your second dimension being, the womb of you, and then that's able to take the information and then give it to your spirit, which is your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas. You see what I'm saying? Well, you want to say the cells in your body, the little beings in your body. You know what I'm saying? Because people will get confused and think the sperm is the spirit. No, let's just say the little cells in your body that could become a sperm cell. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, before that, your spirit is truly in the zero realm. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes from the zero, and to be birthed, to have an individual spirit is a soul. So really your individual spirit is a soul. And then that's like the shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas. Then it's in search for a body. Then the body is the first dimensional body. A sperm cell. That is the first dimensional body. You see what I'm saying? But to understand that life before the sperm cell, and before the nucleus and shit like that, and to know where you came from, you would have to be a ninth dimensional being. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's to know how a planet works. A planet deals with vibrations, emotions, and feelings. So every planet that you up under, the illusions and light it put you up under give you a certain feeling. You know that. The sun give you something to be consciously aware of. Venus give you something to love and appreciate. Mars give you something to have aggression or intent or passion for. You see what I'm saying? Jupiter give you something to want to learn, have wisdom. These are feelings. You see what I'm saying? Color spectrums. They all represent different things, and based upon their location, that's the frequency vibration of the rainbow ocean they're vibrating on. So, you know, Mars might be on a red stream. You know what I'm saying? Mercury might be on a blue stream. Jupiter might be on a sky blue stream. The sun is on a yellow stream. You know what I'm saying? Venus could probably be like on a purple stream. And when you learn about these colors and individuality, you start to know deeper the characteristics of these planets. This is why I said the sun is gay. When I say the sun is gay, I'm not talking about homosexual and things of that nature, which it could lead to that. But gay is just being happy, overly excited, optimistic, and things of that nature. So when you look at the sun, now you see the actions of it. You think it's quote unquote rising. It makes you feel like you can see things. You're constantly aware. When it's sunny outside, everybody could go outside and play and have fun and have that kind of vibration and enjoy and dance and be up under fire and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You start to understand that, nigga, you getting that from the sun. Don't just think that soon as I start talking about the negative shit of it, oh, that's not from the sun. You might as well be a religious person then. You want to choose all the good things out of your Bible, but soon somebody start talking about the negative shit, you want to turn the cheek. You know what I'm saying? You might as well be a religious person then. Yeah, the sun make you feel good and enjoy yourself, but when I turn around and say the sun make you have fucking a sinister mind and a fucking narcissist mind and want authority and want to be praised and want to take over authority and shit like that and be elite and be part of the elite and want to be forms of separation, then goddamn it, you got to believe the sun is doing that goddamn it too. So when you see elites and shit out here channeling the sun better than you, this is why they're able to access more power than you. It's not that they did some magic trick or something like that and they're taking over the world. No, it's these fucking planets you gotta blame. And your ass need to start channeling them just as well as everybody else are. See what I'm saying? Now, you got some beings here that may take certain energetic forces from the planets and use them for themselves and create illusions for you to be up under and think that's not what's going on, aka filters, TV, computers, shows, and other people telling you what the sun is and this, that, and the third. You got the sun working through these people, places, and things, telling you to take you off your game. That for you can't look the sun face to face. I can. You see what I'm saying? My soul group can. And we know when the sun is doing something wrong. We know when the sun... Come on, motherfucker. Why are you making people consciously aware to do that? Why are you pointing people actions in that direction? We ask the sun that. We don't ask people places. We don't give humans, mankind, power. We give where they got that power from, the source that they got that power from. We question that motherfucker, because me and my soul group, we are powerful enough to know that. You see what I'm saying? We question that motherfucker. And then once we get a relationship like that, it's a relationship. It's not an authority type thing. It's not a rulership type thing. It's not an under government type thing. It's a relationship. And if in a relationship, we got to care for one another. So when you get out of line, I'm going to make sure I draw your ass back in line. And when I get out of line, you make sure you draw me back in line. But this is a respectable relationship. This is not an authority. Something I'm supposed to be up under. You see what I'm saying? This goes for every fucking thing. Don't just stop with whatever you be thinking about. You go to the planets too, if you in astrology. You go to all that shit. Now, like I was saying, the sixth dimensional being, if you want to know what they do, they judge the surroundings. So same way the planet utilizes their authority in the surroundings, the sun, they're consciously aware of it, judge the surrounding. All the six dimensional geographical shapes you can make, and then the mind, the brain of it, it judges the surroundings. So it enlightens the surroundings. So all the people, places, and things within. So say if you was the judge of your surroundings, that means you came into this dimension. You vibrated with it. You learned about your surroundings. That's third dimension, right? Then you kind of got all the information from the third dimension, which is fourth dimension, right? Then you utilized your authority from the information you have gained, which is fifth dimension, planet. Now you are the judge of the situation. Now people could come to you and ask you, how does this situation is, and what does the situation mean, and what advice and things. You are the judge, just like the sun. You are the enlightened one. So when people go to enlightened ones, they go to enlightened ones for information, to receive enlightenment, direction, and things of that nature. That's what the sun is doing in totality. See, there's so many things I be breaking down in my own mind to come to the conclusion that you need to watch the sun. That I don't even be breaking a lot of these downs and y'all don't be understanding. But see, this is one of those videos right here, breaking down another mind state I be in on my own time to how I come to these conclusions. You see what I'm saying? Now the sun represents judging the surroundings. So it judges the surroundings. But see, you could go to court and be up under a judge, and a judge could wrongfully judge you and give you more time than you actually needed. You know what I'm saying? Based upon conduct or something. So this lets you know judges are backed and supported by shit. Judges' sons have fucking shitty. They're backed and supported by shitty influences, organs and shit like that, and planets. Judges got their own motherfucking alternative motives. Ain't no telling what it. So you gotta look at the sun like that. Ain't no telling what the meanings and reasons why the sun doing what it's doing. So you gotta be tricky with that too. You see what I'm saying? A seventh dimensional being, a solar system. When you look at that, that's someone who's utilizing their authority to judge. So a lot of angels come from the 7 number, the seventh dimensional being, solar system being. That they give higher solar systems, gives little mini suns, mini solar systems information, idea, things to be consciously aware of, directions to go, to lead their rotations and things of that nature, to make sure they're doing the right judgment. You know what I'm saying? So the seventh dimension of solar systems, they judge the judgment. They utilize their authority to judge. You see what I'm saying? So they make sure the judgment is righteous. They make sure that the whole rotation is going into the right area and not just being led by one specific portion of the body, aka the idea or the thought form or the spirit part of the body, the sun, the head space. You see what I'm saying? The solar system makes sure it's incorporating all pieces, all organs, all planets to come to, and make sure we're all going into the right direction and we're not experiencing any separatism or anything of that nature. You see what I'm saying? Then when you want to get to the 8th dimensional being, that's a solar system. That's enjoying the fruits and labor of what you have created. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole galaxy controlled by the black hole. You know what I'm saying? So it has sucked in all the wisdom and things that it had learned, and its ability to judge, and its ability to dive in and dive out of its own experiences it created and things of that nature. Then it has the choice if it want to get lost or be stable in one place of authority, or to move on and swallow other galaxies. It would have to travel once to do that, but they get lazy. 8th dimensional beings get lazy. You can look at the X-Men character Galactic. They get lazy. Sometimes they just want to stand in their own authority. They don't want to travel nowhere, and that's that's something you need to do if you want to become a whole verse, motherfucker. But if you just want to stand in one place and have your authority, yeah, you can have your whole control over a space and location within the astral realm, and everything that come close to you gets sucked into your shit, aka all your imagination and thoughts and feelings and vibrations. Anything that come close to it gets sucked up. Just say if you were around a big ass star and this motherfucker just blew up real fast, so he became or she became a supernova. They blew up real fast, right? And then so everybody that come around them just pick up their vibe and want to attract to them and get sucked in. Look at Michael Jackson and things of that nature. Everybody ran to him and cried and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? And that's like that's what black holes do. Once you reach that place, you don't want to move nowhere else. You want to stay stable in your life circumstances and situation, and receive all the benefits and pleasures of all the fruits and labors out of your fruits that you created, out of the trees you created. You don't want to move nowhere, so you know you stay stagnated. You'll stay stuck. But that ain't a place that I ain't saying is right or wrong. That ain't a bad place to be. You know what I'm saying? You suck in, when other people come across you, they automatically know you is. They suck into your vibe, your energy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like an 8th dimensional being. Then you have a verse. Someone who understand and have wisdom and knowledge over the whole totality of the experience. AKA the experience. You have many trillions different experiences out here. The experience we are in right now is just one of them. See what I'm saying? So, the ninth dimension is just full wisdom and knowledge over this experience you in. You go to another experience, you got a whole nother 9th dimension to go. But depending on all the elements and things and that you added to your spirit, your conscious, your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas here, you can skip realms. You might just have learned so much here and extended yourself, got into astrology, start learning about stars and shit that's so disconnected to this rotation that you have to go deep into dot through other light sources and through other stars and have to filter. This is how we get conjunctions with the fixed stars and shit. You have to go through other filters and other lights and channel them for them to channel something else, for them to channel through something else, for them to channel through something else, for you to get all that back here. And you can learn so much here, and your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas will be so big that it won't have no choice but to skip realms. You know what I'm saying? You go to another experience, you might land and be born in the 9th dimension there, just because you didn't learn so much of the past when you was just in. You see, this shit go deep. You know what I'm saying? For real. But yeah, that's understanding. You know what I'm saying? The dimensions and the dimensions that you're gonna be able to take, and the vessels that you're gonna be able to inhabit. So just keep that in mind. I forgot what I initially was even talking about, but I got into this whole... I know I was talking about getting into the solar systems and stuff, but I had an initial point that I started at the beginning of the video. But it's all correlating to the same thing anyway. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you're on your way to going into a 4th dimensional being. So, yeah, this is the point I wanted to say. So, 9th dimension. Ninth dimension is truly just 3 bodies. 1, 2, 3, that's 1 body. 4, 5, 6, that's 2 bodies. You know what I'm saying? 7, 8, 9, that's 3 bodies. So just look at it like this. So as a grand scale, a grand totality, 1, 2, 3, right? That's just 1. Let's just say that's the frequency. So you could say in the mind of the overall presence, the overall parameter, right? Everything you can even think of and know or whatever like that is all tied into one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's just say it's one dimensional, and it just came from that 0 realm. So it's just one big ass sperm cell. You see what I'm saying? Now, and it came from the spirit unknown realm, and now the first physical form it took was one big ass sperm cell in this one big ass being or something like that, right? Then when you want to look at vibrations and things of that nature, as far as motherfucking 4, 5, 6, look at that as just now it's one big ass womb, or one big ass vibration, or one big ass rainbow ocean. You know what I'm saying? And one big ass spirit and one big ass rainbow ocean, right? And then think about it as the third one. Then you got one big ass world. One big ass world. So it's just like one big ass world, one big ass sperm cell, and one big ass world within that world. You see what I'm saying? Like one big ass womb within the overall world that they're both in, right? And they all got created from a whole nother existence, like a spirit realm, like that. Two of those things had to come together in order to formulate for anything to become a form of a gas, fluid, or anything to begin with. For a universe, atom, or particle, for something to even begin with. That's the zero realm. But that's another video. But just look at it like that. You see what I'm saying? It's like a big ass fucking something, gas something. Then a big ass womb they go into. And both of those things is in a big ass world. You see what I'm saying? And they all condensed into each other as a big ass thing. You see what I'm saying? And when you look at it like that, that's just one realm, that's just one universe. That's just one universe. It's multiverses though. You see what I'm saying? So it's a long way before people want to really think about the parameter of God. It extends so far to the point that your ass may be in a small world within a small ass person's universe within a small ass world that created a universe within that shit. And you could be thinking you know what you're talking about. See what I'm saying? Flight bus, bitch. Goddamn air.